Who doesn't love candy? Even the most health-conscious of us have eaten some once or twice in our lives. You probably even have a few favorite ones. But did you know that there are candies out there that can kill? Well, today we're going to be taking a look at 10 of these deadly yet tasty sweets. Number 1 is probably the deadliest of them all, so stick around to find out just what that is. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? Number 10. Trolli Roadkill Gummy Candy. It looks exactly like what it says on the packaging. Cute little animals in gummy candy form, with one thing that makes them unique: tire tracks running through them. Yes, they literally made gummy candies to look like roadkill. The candy featured gummies in the shape of squash snakes, chickens, and squirrels, complete with, again, tire marks. Appetizing. Of course, this brilliant product was beset upon by outrage and formal protest was filed against Kraft Foods, the mastermind behind this, well, I suppose brilliant idea to some. The file was done by New Jersey Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The New Jersey SPCA claimed that the roadkill candy sent a wrong message to children that it's okay to harm animals. It took particular offense to the advertisement, which featured animated animals fearing for their lives with a pair of headlights rapidly approaching them. Kraft was quick to defend their product, saying that their candy was misunderstood and that it wasn't their intention to offend anyone. They eventually succumbed to pressure and pulled out the roadkill candy in 2005. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it really works. Number 9. The Hippie Sippy. Hippie Sippy was a Japanese-made candy made in the 60s during the height of the hippie movement in the United States. Clearly trying to make a boatload of cash while also trying to sound nice and catchy, the product was imported to the US and soon was available on candy store shelves within reach of millions of impressionable kids, which is a bad thing, and I'll explain why. You see, Hippie Sippy candies look suspiciously like syringes, obviously a play on the rampant use of recreational drugs at the time. The idea was kids would suck tiny multicolored chocolate balls through a thin straw that looks like a needle. Of course, parents were outraged as soon as they saw their kids mimicking taking drugs during their snack time, and quickly launched complaints, and it was promptly removed from store shelves. You can still find the empty packages though, and also the controversial buttons that came along with it, saying things like "We sell happiness" and "I'll try anything." You can buy them on eBay for around $100. Number 8. Toxic Waste Nuclear Sludge Chew Bar. From candies that might teach children vices that might kill them, we now move to a candy that potentially will. It came as little surprise to many when a candy called Toxic Waste Nuclear Sludge Chew Bars were recalled in 2011 for being, yes, toxic. Tests done by the California Department of Public Health indicated that many of the bars had elevated levels of lead, which is approximately 0.24 parts per million, more than double the standard US FDA tolerance of 0.1 parts per million. Of course, lead poisoning can be fatal, especially in pregnant women and children under 6 years old. As for the culprit, Indianapolis' Candy Dynamics, who are still in business by the way, sold the candy, but it was manufactured in Pakistan, a country notorious for having lax safety and health standards. Luckily though, no one reported becoming sick from the candy. Instead of waiting for a court order, Candy Dynamics smartly pulled out the product themselves. Number 7. Kinder Eggs. Ah, who doesn't love Kinder Eggs? Milk chocolate eggs on the outside with a surprise toy waiting for you on the inside. Just what's so bad about that? Well, according to the US FDA, a lot of things are wrong with it, thus it is banned in the United States. It's not that they have something against the Kinder Egg specifically. They actually banned the sale of all food products containing embedded, non-nutritive objects some 80 years ago, and Kinder Eggs unfortunately fall under this ban. The rationale for this ban is that the toy inside, which is encased in a capsule, might be swallowed accidentally and become a choking hazard. This actually makes sense, since there have been many cases in Europe of kids accidentally choking on one of these capsules, some of which ended up in fatalities, so I think the FDA is right about banning this one. But despite the ban, people have still attempted to smuggle it into the US. According to an article from the Wall Street Journal, as of 2018, the US Customs and Border Protection had seized over 160,000 Kinder Surprise eggs from travelers' baggage and from international mail shipments since 2011. Number 6. The Lollipipe. Originally meant to be a gag gift that is targeted towards adults, the lollipipe is a pipe that can be used to smoke, legal herbs. That's entirely made of candy. Originally only available online, the novelty caught on and was soon available on store shelves everywhere. Of course, marijuana smokers loved it, stating that it added to the experiences of smoking weed. Parents, however, weren't really too happy about it. The package clearly shows that you need to be 18 or above to purchase it, but has that ever stopped curious kids before? Definitely not, so it was only a matter of time before kids were able to grab hold of it, much to the concern of their parents. Although not deadly in itself, the dilemma here is that kids might develop the wrong impression on pipe smoking and drug use, clearly not the kind of thing that we want to teach our kids. So a decision was made to ban the product outright in some US states like Indiana, but it's still legal to purchase in others. Number 5. The Haribo Sugar-Free Gummy Bears. In early 2014, the world learned just how much a handful of gummy bears can do. That's when the internet caught on to Amazon reviews for Haribo's sugar-free gummy bears, which revealed the considerable colon damage that a serving size of these treats could cause. The culprit behind the gummy bear's bodily onslaught is the sugar substitute lycosine. Listed as the first ingredient in the candy, lycosine is a hydrogenated syrup that's been clinically studied and is considered safe to eat. But lycosine consists mainly of maltitol, a well-known sugar alcohol that is almost as sweet as sugar. The problem with that substance is that it's not fully digestible and ferments in the gut. If eaten in excess, side effects can include increased flatulence, loose stools, and diarrhea. According to studies, even just 40 grams of maltitol can cause gastrointestinal responses. That's the equivalent of 15 gummy bears. Suffice to say, it is very, very easy to eat 15 gummy bears in one sitting. It's easy to eat 50 of these things. Due to the media attention and the very poor consumer reviews, Haribo has since discontinued this particularly dangerous bear. Number 4. Chinese Medicine Candy. Are you suffering from chronic sadness? Are you unlucky with the opposite sex? Or do you want to live a long and happy life without aging? Well, the Chinese has got you covered. For just over $1, you'll be able to find a cure for any malady that you might have. That is what I'd like to say, but it's too bad because they were banned by the China FDA. For God knows what reason, Chinese candy manufacturers suddenly manufactured and sold candies that look like pills packaged in a bottle that wouldn't look out of place at a pharmacy. In all fairness to the manufacturers, they never really claimed that their products actually work. They were even marketed as the perfect April Fool's Day gift. The thing is, the CFDA didn't find it remotely funny. The sweets were banned from the market, and the general public was warned to stay away from these sweets. They said that the manufacturers of the candies were purposefully misleading the customers. I, for one, understand why candies packaged like this should be banned. Just like with the Hippie Sippy, this might give children the wrong impression about the proper intake of medicine. The CFDA probably thought that they were preventing children from developing pill addictions such as sleeping pills and painkillers. Or it's just regular old China. Never that fun. Number 3. Smarties, also known as Rockets. Now, I must clarify that these candies aren't banned everywhere in the United States, but rather banned in certain schools in the US. That leads to the question, but why though? I remember Rockets being omnipresent in my candy bag while I was trick-or-treating back in the day. I never thought that these things would have the potential of killing me someday. As it turns out though, either I didn't have a wild imagination, or I was fortunately unaware of how drugs were consumed. Kids apparently have discovered a novel way of consuming these sweets though. It involves crushing the Rockets into a fine powder, lining up the fine powder on a smooth surface, then snorting them up your nose through a rolled up dollar bill. It's pretty ridiculous and it really sounds like something a bored kid would do, but in all seriousness, it has health risks like any other powder going up your nose. That being asthma attacks, long-term breathing problems, and although rare, nasal maggots. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's best pick is a candy that is literally deadly when consumed in enough amounts. In short, it's basically poison. Find out what's next with number 2. Lucas Muecas. Lucas Muecas is a candy that hails from Mexico. It comes in a powder and is available in a variety of flavors, including, get this, hot chili. Now, we just got done talking about how rockets are being banned from schools because of kids having the habit of crushing them and snorting them. Lucas Muecas makes things easier for them by eliminating the crushing part. But is that the reason why the candy is banned in the United States? Not by a long shot. Lucas candies have always been rumored to contain lead, which in high concentrations is definitely poisonous. The manufacturers, instead of denying that they were adding lead to their products, stated that they are currently phasing lead out of their candies. Due to the FDA not being able to find any definitive source stating it has actually been phased out, erring on the side of caution is the best way to go. Among the numerous effects that lead poisoning can have, a few include brain damage, kidney damage, and stunted growth. Just to name a few. Number 1. Candy cigarettes. Who doesn't love relaxing with a good old-fashioned sugar smoke? For the majority of the 20th century, candy cigarettes were readily available, allowing kids to mimic cigarette-smoking adults, just like Fred Flintstone. Yes, that was an actual thing. Look it up, kiddies. In 2009, that mostly changed when the FDA banned flavored cigarettes from American shelves. This ban didn't apply to the candy itself, just to actual cigarettes flavored like fruit or candy, but it encouraged many American stores, including Walmart, to take the candy off the shelves. A key factor in Walmart's policy change was a 2007 study published in Preventive Medicine, which showed a statistical link between candy cigarettes and smoking real ones. The study found that 22% of people who currently smoke had consumed candy cigarettes as a kid, while of those who don't currently smoke, only 14% use candy cigarettes. The study's leader further emphasized the result by saying, "The continued existence of these products helps promote smoking as a culturally or socially acceptable activity." I'm not a smoker and I never tried these candy cigarettes when I was a kid, not because I didn't want to, but because my mom didn't want me to. I do know a few people who eat these kinds of things, and some of them are smokers, but a lot of them aren't as well. While it may be a strange statistic, it can actually be said that these are some of the dangerous candies of all time. Which banned candy have you tried yourself? Let us know in the comment section down below. Want to watch more amazing videos about everyday objects? Click on any of the videos you see on your screen. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.